So we can also refine this image a little bit more using a technique that we hadn't talked about yet. We can make another adjustment called a curves adjustment. So I'm just going to pull this adjustment panel up next to the photograph, and then I'm going to click on this button in the lower left hand corner. This is going to return me to the list of different adjustments I can add to a photograph in a layer. And right next to the levels adjustment is something known as the curves adjustment. So I'm going to click on that, and you're going to see it once again brings up something called a histogram, and within that histogram we have a line here. And the purpose of this line is we can grab the line and basically remap where the tones of the photograph fall. So by just clicking your mouse anywhere on this map and pulling it up, it's going to brighten up the tones in our image. By pulling it down, it is going to make all the tones of the image darker. So just like the levels adjustment, we can control the darkness and the lightness of the image. But the one creative control that this adjustment allows us to do is we can specifically target areas of the photograph for adjustment. And to do that, we press this little finger button once to turn it on, and then we're going to select on a tonal area within the photograph that we want to adjust. So let's make these lettuces. We'll work with them, and when you click on that tonal range and hold your mouse down, you'll see you get an up and a down arrow with a finger next to it. If you push that up, it is going to selectively brighten that area of the photograph. If you push it down, it is going to darken it. So I'm actually going to push that up to selectively lighten that area of the photograph. And so you can see in our histogram here, our line is pushed up in the area of that tone. I'm going to select another area, so this blue in the buildings here, I'm going to make darker. So I'm going to click on there, hold my mouse down. As I hold my mouse down, you can see I get that same icon with the up and the down area, and I'm going to push it down. And notice that blue gets darker without changing too much of this lettuce here. So again, we turn that on, turn that off, and we can kind of see the effects of that filter. I'm not super crazy about the full effect of the filter, so I'm just going to toggle it down again a little bit to somewhere around the 30% range. Now, as you can see on our layers panel, we now have several layers on top of our original photograph. So you can see that's what our original photograph looked like. This is our new version of the photograph. And at this point, we're going to want to save this photograph. But we cannot save a photograph in this format with layers as a JPEG. So we are going to have to take several steps to make this photograph into the type of file that we can save as a JPEG. So we'll do that in the next tutorial.